So I'll just show you how it all kind of goes back to a sofa, and we pack the bed away. So first thing I'm going to do is roll up the old sleeping bag, and that goes in a stuff sack, goes back in my 72-hour bug out bag. This is the back of the sofa, so that just sort of presses up against the wall. We'll move those couple of cushions. There's a little headpiece here at the end that extends everything. This sort of little extension pillow just hides in the recess behind the back there. A couple of extra cushions, they just go on the end. This centre panel comes out and turns over, and that becomes the floor again. And that's as complicated as it is. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So I did buy myself 4 new mugs, and these are just metal mugs. They were about £1.50 each. I kind of 4 of them because sometimes I'll have a couple of guests, or it's me, one other, and you know, a couple of people will be meeting us there. I wanted some new plates, and couldn't really find the plates the right size to go in my storage drawer, so I ended up buying these kind of baking trays. So got a square one because the drawer's square. These are Teflon coated. I use these ones as kind of main meal plates, and I use these ones for desserts, but again, you know, they're kind of Teflon coated, they're easy to clean, and I think they were about £1 each. They came in a pack, and I think it was £2 for 2, you know. So again, didn't spend a fortune there. Same again, you know, I've had this little coffee pot for a good few years. It's enamel, so it can go on the campfire, and again, it was bought at a jumble sale, and it was about £1. I saw this lovely little saucepan at a church bazaar, and kind of had to have that, and I thought I paid about 50p for that. But hot chocolate in the evening, if it's just you know, and you want a just boil just enough water sort of thing, and sometimes I'll do it in that. But that's really all of the stuff that I've got in the new kind of Land Rover Camper setup, and like I say, I'm more than able to cook a meal, a decent meal, you know, servings for at least 4 people. You know, none of us have really struggled or gone without. I've taken the wife and kids out, you know. I'm here with Mr. Wolf at the moment, but Lone Wolf comes out once in a blue moon, and we've never really been stuck for utensils and you know, pots and pans. I've just squeezed this in for you, maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. So when I redesigned the truck and turned it into a camper, different size drawers, different storage systems, it just meant that the stuff that I was old faithful, you know, didn't fit in the space anymore. So the camp kettle you've seen before, you know, I've had it years, bought it at the Wilderness Gathering, and it's been absolutely brilliant. I don't clean the outside of it, but drop bleach and rinse out the inside once in a blue moon. It gets a scour, you know, on the odd occasion. But camp kettle goes on the campfire, and I use it to obviously boil water. But it didn't fit in the drawer, and I saw a few kettles that had kind of folding handles, so I kind of cut the handle off with a hacksaw, put a couple of bolts in it. Now I've got a folding handle, and that fits in the drawer a treat. So that didn't cost. The other thing that I had is I had this kind of aluminium cook set. I've had it for years and never ever used it. I picked it up somewhere, you know, cheap as chips, threw it in a drawer and forgot about it. But I've got two big saucepans and a kind of makeshift frying pan. I've never used it, like I say, but now I've kind of thrown it in the drawer, and that is my kind of saucepan set, really. Obviously I've got one of these, which is just to kind of pick your pans up with so you don't burn yourself. So had that years, picked it up somewhere for next to nothing, and that's become my cook set. I had a jumble sale in my church recently, and these two stainless steel saucepans were there. So just a run-of-the-mill saucepan, and this was a sieve. Both had handles on them. I decided that thing to do was to chop the handles off, again, you know, so that I could use the kind of pan holder to pick things up with that I already got. And they've become my camp saucepans, and I think I bought these two saucepans and this little kind of aluminium teapot. I quite like the idea of having a pot of tea, you know. Maybe it's just Mad Dogs and Englishmen, but anyway, I got the three things for £1, you know. So I guess my little point really is when you develop new camp systems and, you know, storage solutions and stuff, don't think we've got to go out and spend hundreds of pounds on new everything. I mean, I've just modified and reused what I had, bought a couple of things, charity shops, jumble sales, church sort of bazaars. You can pick things up for pennies, and that's basically what I've done. That's my cook set. You know, I can cook a fairly good meal in the field for, let's say, you know, kind of 4 people, I suppose, with my camp oven, so I can do scones and bread in that, but I can do big stews, and that's really kind of my pots and pans that I've updated into the new Land Rover camper system. Okay, so breakfast, a bit of bacon, a couple of sausages, some baked beans, bought some eggs, a little bit of leftover stew, a couple of bread rolls. That's breakfast, people. Let's get it on. So before I sort of came away, went to the supermarket, bought some bits and pieces for 2 of us for 2 days. Everything, about 11 quid is what I've spent on food. One thing I did forget to mention, I bought myself a slightly smaller frying pan, because the one I had didn't fit in the drawer, and again I think it was a kind of cheap frying pan from a superstore, and it was about, I don't know, definitely less than a £5, you know, so that's probably all that I've bought new for the new Land Rover camper. Let's do the bacon first. That'll take a bit longer. So when you're kind of cooking stuff, normally you sort of do the hard stuff first. So if you're cooking, you know, stews or vegetables, you would do you know, your potatoes and carrots and all that sort of stuff goes in first. Bit of breakfast, you know, you do the bacon, sausages, all that, and then do the eggs last, because obviously there's an element of just flash frying the eggs. But that's the bacon and beans on, dig some sausages out, and well on the way to this gorgeous full English breakfast in this amazing sunshine. Okay, sausage and bacon going in. Yum yum bubble gum. I heard everyone asking how on earth is he going to share out, 3 sausages between 2 people? Well, this is the way you do it, peeps. Yummy. So, I'm always moaning about kind of campfire food, but I've put the pan in the middle. It's just sort of weeping a little bit of heat from the burner on the right that's on. But if the oil in the pan is too hot when you put eggs in it, they just instantly burn, and can kind of ruin your entire breakfast, So just put the pan on the edge of the heat, and you'll find that it won't burn your food. Yes. Come on, baby. Out. There we go. Now I'll just kind of move the pan around to warm it up slightly to cook the eggs all the way through. But that way you don't end up with burnt food. Last thing really is just warming up a bit of last night's stew. You can have a bit of that on the side. But the breakfast is pretty much done. So just warmed through a bit of last night's stew. So in effect, I suppose, we're talking about a bit of bubble and squeak. For all my American viewers, I guess you just have to Google that one. But basically it's kind of it's leftover greens and mashed potato normally, with a couple of other kind of secret ingredients. Leaving that on the edge of the plate instead of wasting it. Just wait for the eggs. And the kettle's on, of course. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be our breakfast in the field. I don't think anyone could be disappointed with that. We're going to have 2 minutes to sit down and eat this beautiful food before it gets cold. Kettle's on, bring you back when we've got a cup of tea. This cooking with gas is a big step forward.